Okay, guys, so we've kind of finished what we're good the units on lines, and then we're going to move on to talking about factoring. So we'll do this review, and hopefully the stuff we've been doing with graphing lines, slopes, intercepts, that will all kind of come together. And if it's not, I hope to see you in Raise or Chill. Okay, so let's see. Parallel lines have um, no solution, right? Because they do not intersect. The slopes are the same and their y-intercepts are different. Okay, parallel is like that. Oops, so that doesn't look, those are not good parallel lines. Okay, parallel lines have the same slope but different intercepts, and so they don't intersect, so there's no solution. Coinciding lines have infinitely many solutions. Okay, coinciding means they overlap. Okay, so you have one line over the other. All right, so their slopes are the same and their y-intercepts are the same. Okay, so the intersection, well, there's an infinite number of points that are on both lines, right? Because the intersections, the number of points that they both have, that's the number of solutions. So no intersections, no solution. Infinite intersections, infinite solutions. Intersecting lines only have one solution because they're straight, and so they only intersect one time. Okay, so three ways to solve. One is by graphing, and we've got the y-intercept here, positive 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you can do this on your own, go ahead and do it on your own. The video is just if you need me to help or to check your answers. Okay, so up 1 over 1 for the slope here, up 1 over 1. And it's an equal sign, right? So it's obviously, it's going to be solid. And there's no shading. Oops, if I can draw a straight line. All right, see if I can connect these dots. Okay, I think I'm going to back up here and back up. I'm going to use this thing. All right, so there is my line. Okay. So that has a slope of positive 1, right? Slope of positive 1, and then the y-intercept is positive 4. And then now I want to have a y-intercept of 2. So here's 1, 2. And then now this slope is negative 1. So I'm going to go down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1. Okay, and then I'll go ahead and draw that, connect these dots. Okay, and then where they intersect is my solution. Okay, so let's see, if I start at the origin, that would be minus 1 for the x-coordinate, and then up 1, 2, 3 for the y. Okay, and again, please type that into Desmos, and so you can check your lines and your solution. All right. So if on number 6, what you need to do is get the y by itself. So I'm going to minus 5 here. So that goes away, and I get y equals 1/3 x minus 5, right? So minus 5 is my y-intercept. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And my slope is 1 over 3. So up 1 over 3. Up 1 over 3. and it's an equal sign, so there's no shading. I'll just draw my line. And then the other line is -2 for my y-intercept. And the slope is also positive 1/3, right? So I'm going to go up 1 over 3, up 1 over 3. So they have the same slope, right? Both slopes are 1/3, right? So if they have the same slope, they do not intersect, right? If they have the same slope, then they are parallel. So there is no solution, no intersection. Okay. Alrighty, so let's see. And then if you have this guy, we want y by itself to graph this. So I will get that y by itself by adding 9 to both sides. So that goes away, and I get 3y equals x plus 9. And then I'm going to divide by 3. So I get y equals, and then that would be a 1 on the top and a 3 on the bottom. So that would be 1/3 x plus, and then 9 divided by 3 is 3. So if I'm going to graph this guy, right, I do my y-intercept first. So that would be the +3, right? So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. And then the slope is 1/3, so I'm going to go up 1 over 3, up 1 over 3. And it's an equal sign, so I'm making my line. Okay, and then now this is x equals -3, so that's a vox, right? There's no y. So that would be a vertical line with an undefined slope, and it crosses at -3. Okay, so I'm going to cross here at, let's see, 1, 2, 3, where x is -3, and it's a vertical line. Okay, and so the solution here would be right there. So, right, because this was, the slope was -1, oh, it was 1/3. So this point right here is on both lines. So let's see, the coordinates of that point are -3 for x and 1, 2, 2 for y. Because looking at this, my slope was 1 over 3, so it would be down 1 and over 3. So that goes right there. Down 1 and over 3. So my line was just a little bit off there. Okay, but again, put it in Desmos. All right, so now if we're using the elimination method, you're going to combine the left side and combine the right side. Okay, you might have to multiply to get your coefficients to cancel out or be eliminated. Here I don't, because I've got a plus y and a minus y, right? So that cancels out, that adds up to 0. And then 2 plus 1 is 3x equals 19 plus 2 is 21. Divide by 3, and I get x equals 7. Okay. And then what I said you could do is put the two equations into Desmos to get the other, to get your y coordinate, okay? You could also substitute if you wanted. I could put 7 in here for x, so I could say 7 minus y equals 2. And so -7, so -y equals -5. So y equals 5. And so that means my x coordinate is 7 and my y coordinate is 5. Okay. Now here again, I've got a plus 5 and a minus 5. So I can just combine everything on the left and my y's are going to be eliminated because 5 minus 5 is 0. So that goes away. So 3 plus 2 is 5x. And 11 minus 26 is negative 15. Divide by 5. So I get x equals negative 3. Okay. And then you could just put that into Desmos, your two original equations, and see what y is. Okay. Or you could go back and substitute in the negative 3 up here. So I could say 3 times negative 3 for my x plus 5y equals 11. 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. And then I would add 9 to both sides. So I get 5y equals 20. Divide by 5. So y equals 4. And so I would get x is negative 3 and y is 4. Okay, and you can check that by putting it into Desmos. Okay. Now here I want to get my, I'm going to have to multiply first because I want them to be the same but opposite. So I'm going to multiply this top number by negative 2. Okay, so I distribute that, I multiply everything by negative 2. So that would give me 2 times 5 is negative 10x. 2 times, negative 2 times 2 is negative 4y. And then negative 8. And I'll leave this one the same. So I have 3x plus 4y equals negative 6. Okay. And then what I would do is I can go ahead and combine these. Those add up to 0. So they go away. Negative 10 plus 3 is negative 7x. And negative 8, negative 6 is negative 14. Divide by negative 7, so x equals 2. Okay. And then you can put that back up into this original equation. So that would be 5 times 2 plus 2y equals 4. So 5 times 2 is 10. And then minus 10, 2y equals negative 6. Divide by 2, so y equals negative 3. So the point where they intersect would be 2, negative 3. Okay. Okay, and then for this one, I'm going to go ahead and I'll let you guys just put that. You would have to multiply both the equations. So we'll go ahead and you can just put that into Desmos and get your answer. All right, so you just type that in, see where they intersect, and that would be your answer. Okay. Here, using the substitution method, you put, if you have y all by itself here, you substitute the 3x in for where you see the y. So I'm going to rewrite this equation. I'm going to say x plus, but instead of y, I'm going to put in 3x. Okay, that's what substituting is. Equals 20. Okay, and then 1x plus 3x is 4x's. That equals 20. Divide by 4, so x equals 5. And then now when you go back up, it's easier it's not a big deal to substitute in to find your answer because the y is all by itself, right? So you've got y equals 3, but instead of the x, I'm going to put in a 5. So y equals 15. So the point where they intersect would be 5 for the x and 15 for the y coordinate. And then you check by just putting this into Desmos and seeing if this is where they intersect. Okay. And then here, y is all by itself. So I'm going to rewrite this equation here. I'm going to say x plus, but instead of y, I'm going to put in x minus 4 equals -6. Okay, so I am taking this and putting it in for y. And then I can solve this because I've got one variable. So x plus x is 2x. Bring down the -4. And then now I'm going to add 4 to both sides. Bring down the 2x. And then add these together, and that's -2. So x equals -1. And then you go back up to this original equation, which was y equals x minus 4, right? But instead of x, I'm going to put in a -1. Okay, so I'm just substituting here. Instead of x, I'm putting in this -1. And so then I get y equals -1 minus 4 is -5. And so the point where they intersect would be when x is -1 and y is -5. Okay, and then we'll do this again. So now I'm going to take this and put it in for y. So I'm going to write 2x plus, and then instead of y, I'm going to write 4x minus 8 equals -2. And then now I'm going to combine my x's, 2x and 4x, right, is 6x. Bring down the -8. Add 8 to both sides. 6x equals 6. Divide by 6. X equals 1. Go back up to the top. And right here, I've got y equals 4x minus 8. But instead of x, I'm going to now substitute again. I'm going to put the 1 in there. 4 times 1 is 4, and then 4 minus 8 is -4. So the point where they intersect is going to be when x is 1 and y is -4. Okay, and you just, again, check by putting that into Desmos. Okay. So now this, you have to do a bit of work. So go ahead and just put it in Desmos. Okay, I feel like we've practiced substituting enough. Go ahead and put that into Desmos and just get your answer for that one. And the last page is, last but not least, solving these, the dreaded word problems, no big deal. Okay, so I've got a rectangle. It's always a good idea to draw a picture if you've got like a rectangle or something. And I know that the perimeter is 42. And it says find the length and the width. So those are my variables, right? The width is, W is the width. Right? What you're trying to find is going to be your variables. So L is the length. Okay. And then you have two variables, so I'm going to write two equations. All right, so let's see. Here's the width, and here's the width. Right? Here's the length, and here's the length, right? So I know that the perimeter is going to be W plus W, right? W plus W plus length, right? That's one equation, right? The perimeter is the distance around, so you just add all these up. That equals the perimeter. And then I also know that the width is 5 less than the length. Okay, so W is, right, the width is 5 less than the length. So that means I'm going to take the length and I'm going to take 5 away from it. Okay, the width is going to be smaller than the length. It's less than. So you kind of like flip, if it's less than, you kind of flip these around. All right, so it's L minus 5. Okay, so what that means is I've got the perimeter. Now I'm going to substitute in everything I've got. So my perimeter is 42. And instead of W, I can put length minus 5, right? Plus length minus 5. I'm substituting in my W's. Plus L plus L. So let's see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 L's. And then I've got minus 5, minus 5. So that is minus 10. Okay, right? Because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, right? If you just have an L, there's a 1 in front of it. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 4. And then you have the minus 5 and the minus 5 is my minus 10. Okay. And here it says the perimeter is 42. So perimeter equals 42. Okay. And then now I can solve this. This was extra credit on the test, but it's good to know how to do it. I want the L by itself, right? That's my variable. So I'm going to first add 10 to both sides. And then I'm going to divide by 4. So I get the length is 13. Okay. And if the length is 13, right, the width was going to be 13 minus 5, right, which is 8. Okay. And if that's 8, then that's 8, and that's 13, so that's 13. And they would, if you add them all up, that adds up to be 42. And that's how you can kind of check yourself. Okay, I could put down here, oops, I didn't want to do that. I could put down here 8 plus 13 plus 8 plus 13 is 42, right? That's what the perimeter is. And then 42 equals 42. So I know we did it right here. Okay, that was an extra credit problem on the test. This one, hopefully, this one was part of the test, so hopefully we can all do this. We practiced it a lot. You've got 2, it says how many are each type of ticket. So that's your variables, right? You've got student tickets and adult tickets. Okay, so I hate S for a variable, so we're just going to say X equals student cost, and Y is the adult cost, right? Oh no, we actually know the cost, right? We know there are three. So it's actually how many, right? Okay. And so my two equations then, I'm going to go back up to what I've got here. Selling tickets, they're $3 for the student tickets, right? Student tickets are $3. So that would be 3x, right? And then I've got adult tickets are $5. So plus the adult tickets are $5. So that's 5y. And the total amount we collected was $1,450. Okay. And then the last thing is, we need another equation. The last thing is that we sold a total of 350 tickets, right? So X plus Y, adults and students, adds up to $350. Okay, and what I was going to let you do is go ahead and solve this on Desmos. So go ahead and just type that into Desmos and then answer the question about how many adult and student tickets you have. Okay, the main thing for these was to be able to set it up. Okay, so now we have another rectangle question. So here's our rectangle. We've got the length and the width, right? And so those are my two variables. L is the length. Oops. Maybe my writing is. So L is the length. And W is the width. Okay, and so now we're going to write the two, gotta find out two equations here. So let's see, the length is, so length is equals, so length is 6 more than the width. Okay, so the width plus 6, right? More than means you're adding, right? So, and then with the then, you kind of switch the order. So the width plus 6. So that's one thing. And then now I know also that my perimeter is 56. Okay, so I know that if I take my other equation, if I take W plus W, right, the two widths, plus the two lengths, that's going to equal 56. That's going to equal my perimeter, right? Width plus width, that's going to be the distance around. Okay. So I can substitute in here, right? I know I've got width plus width, and then instead of L, I can put W plus 6 plus W plus 6, right? Equals 56. So now I only have one variable, right? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 W's. And then I've got plus 6, so that would be plus 12. And that equals the distance around, right? W plus W plus length times length. That's the whole distance around. That's the perimeter. And then now I'm going to minus the 12. Boom. So I get 4W equals 44. Divide by 4. So W is 11. So W is 11, so that's 11 and that's 11. And then the length is going to be 11, right, plus 6. So that's going to be 17. And so then this one would be 17. Okay, and if I add them all up, 17 plus 17 plus 11 plus 11, that should equal 56. And it does. So we know that we did it right. Okay, and the last one here finally. You've got 6 people in your family going to a restaurant for dinner. So how many people ordered each dinner? All right, so you've got chicken dinner and you've got steak dinner. All right, so those would be the 2 types, right? So X is going to be the chicken dinner and Y is going to be the steak. And so now my 2 equations, let's see, I've got 6 people, right? So X plus Y has to equal 6. That's the total number of people. And then now each dinner, let's see, chicken is $14.80. So $14.80 for chicken plus, and then steak is $17. And then the total, right, this is the amount of money, so plus the money equals the total bill was 91. Okay, and that is the total amount of money. And you just put that in Desmos and see where they intersect. And X is going to be the number of chicken dinners, and Y is going to be the number of steak dinners. And I said that was the last one, but I forgot there's these graphing ones. Okay, but I've shown you how to graph. This is just practicing. All right, so you can do that. Again, just put that into Desmos and graph away, okay? Fill in the information. These 2 lines are intersecting. One solution. Okay, the solution is going to be XY, right? These kind of lines are parallel. Solution is none, all right? No solution. Sometimes you'll see it as an empty set. And maybe even like with a 0 through with a line through it, that means empty set. These kind of lines are coinciding. All right, one right on top of the other. Solution is infinitely many solutions. Okay. I hope you have a great day. Have fun doing the quiz is. Do it until you get a 70%. And I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye. Oh, and also the Book of Knowledge. There are the Post-its for the book of knowledge, you can fill in your cards. All right. This is all the stuff on um, lines and solving equations. So that would be on the first 10 cards that you've got in there. And then we'll start the next half on Wednesday. And also I'll post pictures of the cards if it makes it easier. Or if you want to take a picture with your phone to use that, you can do that too. All right, have a great rest of your day. Bye.